again on the show where we feature individuals with compelling stories. Stories you will consider not the regular, not the usual, not also the normal day-to-day life stories. We are here to see female carpenter, Google. But first, safety measures.
My dad is an architect, so I've been around this. He loves carpentry. Like, he's always, since when I was small, I can remember him making stuff. So I will be around it, and then of course they will chase us back inside the house. They don't want nails to enter our legs. And he was more interested in the boys coming in, but that never happened. I have 3 brothers, and none of them are interested at all. Yeah, so he was more interested in that, but that didn't work out. My mom was very adamant about we had to go to school, we had to finish school, we had to go to college, we had to finish college. So I went to medical school where I finished very well. I graduated with merit from Lutz. Yeah, so, and then after, I said I wanted to come into this. And of course, they were not so keen on it. But, you know, like, you have to come and prove your worth. And people think I just managed, which is not the case. As you can see, I am part of. If you do not know how to do it, you cannot tell them what to do. So they will tell you that what would normally take 30 minutes will take 2 days, and you'll be looking at them thinking that that's it, but that's not it. So I do it. I know almost every aspect of this now. I even take classes in the morning. I'm teaching people how to do this. So yeah. So that was how it started. This is 5 years now. And I think I'm doing a really good job. I still do consultations sometimes with some of my colleagues, but apart from that, this is what I do. This is what I enjoy doing. You see, look at me, I'm fit. Like, it keeps me fit, so I'm happy about that. But stereotypes, when I started, it was very hard. I was arrogant in the sense that, you know, I'm just coming from medical school. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Let me do this. But you would think that it is the artisans or the uneducated people that are my problem. No, I would go to see clients, highly educated, and they would look down like, this is a girl, what is she saying? What can she tell me about this? No. So I learned in the beginning that even when I'm going for meetings, I have to take men with me. So I could be telling these clients that this is how we're going to do it. He'll be looking at the man, I'm saying, hey, so this is how I go. I didn't mind as far as I was getting the money, right? That's the most important thing. But with time, your work tends to speak for you. And then when they finally see the face, after they've gotten, you know, like 3-4 job friends, they don't really mind anymore because, you know, your work is good and it speaks for you. So that was a major challenge. I lost half my staff at least when I started because nobody wants to take commands from her. There's a difference between an older woman with kids and they are saying, my friend, do that, you know, but when you're young and you're saying, my friend, do that, and these are people that are not used to it, so it's our culture. Yeah, so I lost them. I said, it's either you do exactly what I say, you get out. And yeah, I actually lost. So we started rebuilding after that. And since then, I've had great workers. I have, you know, you have some bad ones, but then, you know, filter. So that was another challenge, getting good staff. Girls want to come and work, which is great. I encourage it, I love it. But then I noticed that when I hire women, in the beginning, you see the men, no, don't carry, I will help you. No, I'm not paying her for you to help her. But after a while, of course, you saw some women there. So after a while, they started doing it by themselves. So I encourage women to come. I love when I see women doing these things. And you still look good even after, yeah, because please, this is not how I look, you know. After this, I clean up really nice. You still look good after. So it doesn't show. It keeps you fit, keeps you healthy, you're happy. Yeah, so we've gone through ups and downs, you know, the lights issue, everybody is facing that, of course. And our factory runs on diesel every day, so you can imagine how much we spend. But apart from that, you know, we're going up, so I'm happy. So 5 years. I've gained experience, I've gained humility, yes. I've gained muscle mass, I've gained strength. Of course, we've grown so much. We're selling a whole lot more. I have gained knowledge in the sense that I can now teach others what I know. 5 years of experience is a lot, especially when you're hands-on. I'm still learning from him, you know, and it's a struggle. I have gained tact. Tact in the sense that I know better how to deal with people. You know, I don't talk down to anyone. I don't talk up to anyone. I can deal with artisans. I can deal with executives, everybody at the same level. So yeah, we've gained so much. I'm happy on the journey. It's tiring. There are days that I do not want to do this, honestly, but I'm up at 6 a.m. every morning. I am. Drag myself out of bed, come and do this. And then it's not just this. If it's just this, I'm happy. Because this, I can do it, and I'm listening to music, I'm there. But then you have to deal with the managerial aspect. You have to deal with human beings. You have to deal with clients. And I love my clients, but some clients are very difficult. You have to deal with Lagos State, tax. So yeah, when you deal with all this, you have to try not to get hardened, because that is the next thing, especially as a woman. You get so hard, you're angry, you're coming to work, you're like, but you have to still maintain your femininity. You have to be happy. You have to find happiness even in what you're doing. You have to come and start joking with your workers, even when they've got you so upset, you do. So yeah, I've gained all this. I'm still learning, don't get me wrong. There are some days I still come out angry, but I won't trade this for anything else. At first, it was hard. It was hard to balance both. It was very hard, because I found this hard to just detach from work and focus on either relaxing or hanging out with friends, or I enjoy reading a lot, like reading books. So then I was focused on building, and the process of building, especially when you're just starting, is always very taxing. So I could break down for like a week and I would still be working, I'll be sick. My temperature would be, it was bad. But I'll still be working because I felt, this is what everybody should do in order for them to, succeed in life. So yes. But then I had good friends. My family is amazing. We fight, yes, as all families do, but they're amazing people. Like they would force you to relax. My sister used to seize my phones because, I'm on my phone thinking, how are we selling on Conga really well? She would seize my phone. She would be like, no. They will hide my phones from me. My friends would come, force me to take a shower, force me to dress up and go out. And then they would hold my phones because I had to, just be in the moment, have good conversation and relax. And, at that point, I thought I was wasting my time. I'm like, why am I here? I'm not making money doing this. I'm not growing doing this. Why am I here? But then I noticed when you go through that process of relaxation, when you come back to work, you are 100 times more productive. You are freer, you're calmer, you can think clearer. I tried to balance it now. So in the beginning it was hard, but now I take 2 trips every year, by God's grace, So by God's grace, I take 2 trips. And on the trips, I am fully off work. I don't care if something has grown here. When I come back, we'll deal with it. I've always been very, one of those people, epicals in school. I've always been that. And people didn't really like me because I was also very sports oriented. I have awards from Milo. I have over 20 medals. That I'm very sports oriented. I played basketball, football. That was how school was. It was high grades, highly effective at school. I was sports prefect, went to school. Next thing, I was sports prefect again, Milo Awards. Then university. Yeah. University was interesting because I was meant to go into medicine. But I said I didn't want to go into medicine. My mom was very adamant, African. I love my mom. So she wanted me to go into medicine. I said, I don't want to go. I want to do something more sports-oriented, Physiotherapy is perfect. So I went into physical therapy, that's physio. And I didn't really like the constraints. I went to Lutz. Lutz is an amazing school. They will teach you really well, but we're still learning things that if you go to other schools, they're not doing this anymore. We're learning about microwaves. Nobody is using microwaves anymore, I get passionate when I think of it. So yeah, so I went through school. I had alterations with my lecturers, because I was smart. If I was stupid, it would have been better. But I was smart, so I could tell you, no, what I read was wrong. I'm the kind of person that will argue with you in class, and nobody likes that. And now I'm smart enough to know I should not have done that. Yeah, so school was fun. I used to go for parties. I had a very balanced life at school, I did. And then projects, graduation. Yeah, so I graduated with merit. That was top 3 in my class, which was top 3 in my sets, which was really good. And then what else? Yeah, then I went for youth service. Everybody was surprised I stayed the 3 weeks, the 3 weeks orientation camp. Yeah, because they always just believed I was soft, so I would just escape, you know, that kind of thing. But no, so I stayed 3 weeks. It was fun. I had fun with everybody, and then after that was my practice. After my practice, so after 6 years of physical therapy in medicine, yeah, and I decided to quit. I didn't quit. No, I didn't decide to quit. I didn't quit, but yeah, I practiced for a year. So after that, so that's 7 years, 7 whole years of my life. Yeah, so I practiced and I did 7 years. And then I decided to come into this. My mother was against it. She was fully against it. She said, no, you should practice. I already had 3 offers. 3 offers, all government hospitals, really good places. And she was like, I should just get the job. I should just do it. But I couldn't see myself doing that. I really couldn't. I couldn't see myself going to work and then doing the same thing I was complaining about, seeing 30 patients a day and not helping. And I was interested in this because you can come here in the night. It's quiet, it's beautiful. You're listening to music. I'm playing like old school. I'm very old school. So you're playing like old school jams. This is something like Michael Bolton. And then you're making things that people will use for 10, 20 years of their life. I enjoyed it so much because, you know, like the first thing I made and I sold it, I was so happy. It's like, oh, I created this thing and then someone is going to use it and enjoy it. So I was so happy. And after that, I knew I couldn't go back. I just couldn't. I came here, I started doing this. And then my father is, you know, he's of the older generation. So they didn't understand social media. They didn't understand that nobody goes to stores anymore. So, of course, it was me. And then my brother came into this, that is Olisa. He came in and we started setting up social media, we started setting up Conga. So we were selling, you know, consistently. And then they were so excited, like, oh, okay, maybe you guys can come in now. Like, okay, like, you know. Yeah, so we were selling and then we came in and we are doing really well. So, yeah. So even though my mother was against it, now that she sees, she's like, yeah, Bugo, so how is everything's good? I said, no, didn't you just travel? Everything is going fine. Yeah, so yeah. And we're growing and we're getting better. And please, I am a Christian, so, you know, I'm very adamant about that. Christianity has taught me so much, not in the sense of religion, in the sense of getting closer to God. So every time even before this, I pray. I want to say the right things, not just for me to look good, but for me to help somebody or touch somebody out there. So I'm very adamant about praying before meetings. You know, I could just be walking and I'll be talking to myself and I'm speaking in tongues. So yeah, okay. So this was one of the first things I made. This is, of course, this is not the original one, but yeah. So this is the Jella series. We name all our products. Yeah, like we named them, you know, Jella, Montag, whatever name. So this is the Jella series. I was so excited because it was very simple. We sell this for 7,000. So it's cheap. Okay, or, you know, pretty affordable, yeah. So we've sold over 100 of this. So just imagine you made this and you sold over 100. I was really happy. I even made like a video on how normal people could make it, and everybody was so excited. Like, oh, okay, I'll try it. Of course, I'm sure most people didn't try it, but I'm happy they rather buy from us. Yeah, so yes, I was excited about this. This was good because we're trying to make our furniture more affordable. We tell people that, oh, our furniture lasts 20, 30 years. Most people in our generation are not interested in that. They want something that they will change every 5 years. So this will still last 20, 30 years and it was still very affordable. So I was really happy about this. So this is my first one.
You follow your passion. If you have because a lot of people nowadays, a lot of young people study to please their parents. They study courses to please their parents. They study courses that are popular. But when you find what gives you joy, follow it. I have a son who is into baking and he's studying engineering. So it's normally a conflict. Normally, I would have said, let him leave his engineering and concentrate fully on baking. But as I said, passion is not gender-based. I won't say I wish you were a boy, but I'm happy. I'm very happy. It gives me joy. Just looking back, seeing her handle things, doing things, some things I cannot even do.
Okay, so I'm a carpenter, and I love it. Okay. And I know that this is not your regular 9 to 5, but this is my life, and I love it so much.
And still here on the show, we bring you the story of Omozo Ehige, who left the world of banking, safe and secured job for what she learned how to do as a child and grew into as second nature, hairstyling precisely. Today, with her other sisters, Untouchables is born.
I've been natural for 19 years, since 1999. I keep playing that my hair will soon go to university and I'll do a birthday party when it turns 21. But the thing is, I keep cutting my hair because, I don't know, maybe it's I don't know. I always grow it up to a certain length and then I cut it. So right now, it really should be longer than this, but it's not. So I think this year, maybe I won't cut it. So by the time it's 21, it should be much longer than this. Unnaturals was started in 2009 as a blog by 3 sisters who all had natural hair and were in all their different spheres of life. So we were answering questions on how to care for our natural hair, how to care for the natural hair of our daughters, because my older sister has 2 daughters with natural hair as well. And the salon started in 2013. Most people think Unnaturals started in 2013, but no, it started as a blog in 2009. Unnaturals is actually derived from the O sisters. My sisters and I were popularly known as the O sisters because all our names begin with O, and so we have natural hair. So it just progressed naturally to O Naturals. I started off in financial services. I started working in a cash office, and from there I went into working in a cooperative. I went into private banking, and then I went full-time into Unnaturals. However, while I was in my financial services career, I was still working as a professional hairstylist on the side. And in 2009, I now went into professional hairstyling of natural hair. At the time, natural hair wasn't a big deal. There weren't many schools teaching stylists how to care for natural hair. And a lot has changed now. So I was in banking, I was in financial services for about 18 years before I transitioned fully to working with Unnaturals. So I left the financial services industry in 2015, January 2015, and have been working with Unnaturals since then. And I left after 18 years because it was time. It was time. Unnaturals needed a lot of attention at the time for the organization to be able to grow to what it is now. We are not where we want to be. We still have a lot to do, but I wouldn't have been able to grow the business from where it was in 2015 to where it is now if I had been working simultaneously at another organization. I went into natural hair care because my younger sister went natural, and I was a professional hairstylist at the time, so I was helping her care for her natural hair. At the time, there wasn't much information about natural hair, so really we were doing trial and error. And we would ask my mom questions about different products. And my mom would tell us about coconut oil, ori, which is shea butter now, which the world knows as shea butter. So that was what we were using, and I would weave her hair, I would style it differently. We used thread, and those kind of things. And as I was doing that, she was getting a lot of compliments, a lot of questions outside, asking her, who did your hair? How did you take care of your hair? And she would direct them to me. I was working at a salon at the time. So after working at the salon during the day, I would be answering questions. People would be at my house. I would go doing mobile hair styling for various people. So there was a need. There really was a need. And we felt that we had the capacity to solve that problem and to meet that need. And that was how we decided to go into natural hair. I had some apprehension before leaving financial services completely, before leaving paid employment completely. I was afraid, I was unsure. Should I even say I was confused? But I was not, I will say this, I didn't have any doubts that Au Naturals would succeed. I don't know if those two contradict each other. There was no doubt in my mind that the organization would do well. This business idea would do well. But my concern was, okay, so you will now leave banking and then you will be doing a job that you don't know how frequently you're going to get paid. You don't know when you'll get paid. A customer is going to come. You have no idea. So that apprehension was there. That fear was there. Will natural hair, will a salon that cares for strictly natural hair succeed? And I guess, well, like I said, in 2015, ending of 2014, November, a good friend of mine told me that I should write my resignation and prepare to move into focusing on my business so that my business would grow. So I wrote that resignation in in September, handed it in November, and actually left in 2015. So there wasn't really, I had always been in there. So my heart had always been in there. So there wasn't really a definite time where I said, okay, I'm going to do hair now and I'm not going to do financial services. And to be fair, I still have some dabbles in financial services now. The initial challenges for setting up Au Naturals, honestly, nobody will lie, would be, first of all, us. The ones who came up with the idea. Just, I guess, encouraging ourselves to go ahead to do it. My older sister is a medical doctor. My younger sister is a writer. I was in financial services. So we had careers in different areas. So we were really our first challenge, kind of believing our own vision and putting our vision into putting it down on paper and sharing it with other people. So that was one of the challenges. Another challenge was, of course, finding a space. Where are we going to set up the salon and all of that? The best moment so far in my career has been expanding the business to where it is now. We've expanded from 4 chairs to 14 chairs. And in my mind, I think that's growth. Regardless of how small it may seem to somebody else, it is growth. You've grown from being, small, very small, to, medium or small now. So instead of smallest, you're now small or smaller, whichever way you want to look at it. But that was very exciting. I remember sitting down on my styling chair, looking out the window, how cliche, looking out the window, and thinking to myself, if everything were to scatter today, I would not be upset. My favorite part of running Au Naturals is creating styles and interacting with my staff and customers. I can shout at my staff. They know that, but they know that we have a goal and an objective. So it works out well. This most requested hairstyle in the salon, I think right now, is combination. Typically when we bring out a new hairstyle, a lot of people want to try the hairstyle out. A lot of people want to get it done and all of that. So right now, combination is our most popular hairstyle. And we spice it up with a little bit of roll and talk, with a little bit of extensions. But right now, combination is leading the pack. Nigerian hair through the decades is very, very interesting. I'm actually a fan of the history of hair and the progression, changes of hairstyling and hair care in Nigeria. Some things may seem to have changed, But we still use ori, we still use coconut oil, we still use avocado to take care of our hair. Our grandmothers did it, our mothers did it, and we are doing it now. The styles for the different festivals, for the different events, weddings, childbirth, deaths, Oshobo festival, the hair styles at that festival alone is amazing. Even the Argungu festival. So hair in Nigeria is rich. We are trendsetters. We take from other places and we turn it around to make it ours. So much so that people think it originated from us here. The local techniques, rather indigenous techniques like threading, DD, we incorporate those even in our hairstyling today and even in Au Naturals. So it is rich, it is interesting, it's mesmerizing. And one thing about Nigerian women is we are bold when it comes to style, whether it's clothing, makeup, or hair. If I were to go back in time, I would do many things differently. First thing, I would not delay. We got the place, start. Just start. All the mental gymnastics and somersaulting doesn't get you anywhere, you know. So I would start earlier. I would have started the natural hair salon earlier than we did, actually. And I would actually have written more things down, structured more, you know. Sometimes people think it's difficult to structure what is not in existence, but I think it's important to create what is not in existence and you kind of grow into it as opposed to waiting for things to happen because you become reactionary. So with the new projects that we're working on, we're being more proactive. So we are structuring now, we are planning and strategizing for now and for the future. So those two things I would do differently. We would start immediately and we would create what it is we wanted to see. Hello, I'm Omozo Ehigie. This is not your 9 to 5, but it's my life.
Hi guys, my name is Kemen Fitness. I'm a fitness entrepreneur and wellness coach. Drink a lot of water, stretch before you work out. Try to work out at least 30 minutes. Eat healthy, that's eat clean, and have a lot of sleep. Yeah, try to sleep when you can. On the keyboard. I don't think I know. On the keyboard. Let's look on the keyboard. If it's not Z, I don't know. Oh, last sleep with your hunger with. When was the last time I hung out, sir? But I had the most fun hanging out with Timaya. He's a comedian. North America, South America, Asia, Europe, Africa, Australia, Antarctica. Okay, so wait. Some chairs have arms and legs but no head. Maybe. Yeah. I admire a lot of female celebrities. A lot of them. I mean, yeah, of course. The most. Don't tell anybody. Tiwa Savage. Hi guys, my name is Kemen. I'm a fitness entrepreneur and a wellness coach. These guys, they made me thirsty. But I survived. At least I answered most of the questions, so I tried. Yeah!
Good afternoon, my country people. You do well say you join us inside News on the Hour for Plus TV Africa. This one of them tell you where they make background for this very o'clock. My name, Nabetiana Unweli. President Muhammadu Buhari don't order quick intervention and response to the affected communities for the recent communal conflicts for Adamawa and Taraba. The quick intervention response delegate led by Air Commodore Akube Iyawu will be Director Research and Rescue of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, arrived for Yola on Monday. Iyawu for the Haman Bata and Haman Bachama palaces for Demsa and Numan talk say them did the area to assess the level of damage where affect lives and property for the affected regions. He said make the affected persons expect intervention from the federal government through NEMA within the shortest possible time. For inside their separate responses, Mr. Stephen Emiya will be Hama Bachama and him counterpart Alhamdu Teneke of the Bata Kingdom don't thank we Presido for say them day with them in the times of trial. Them say make government find ways to bring lasting solutions to the crisis to enable their communities to live life in peace. The federal government don't sympathize with the families of the two people, a Nigerian and a Britiko, who died inside Friday attack on Kajuru Castle Resort, a popular resort for Kaduna State, and then promise say then go find the killers where do this badness inside statement for Abuja on Tuesday. The Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, talks that the security agencies they do everything possible to make sure say the three persons where them gbab for inside the attack go collect release and come out unharmed. Now, the same attack led to the death of Ms. Faye Muni, a British aid worker, and Mr. Matthew Oguche, a Nigerian, when they visit the popular resort. Ogalai said this one at the setback in efforts to promote tourism for inside Biobodo. The Emir of Anka, Alhaji Atairu Ahmad Muhammad, don't reconfirm the Zamfara State Council of Chief position on the accusation of killings of innocent villagers during air raids by Air Force jets across different communities. The Emir took this one for in Palace for Anka local government area in an interactive session with reporters as they react to media reports, said the council don't apologize to the Air Force. The Emir talk say the council never changed mouth in any way over the killings. He insists that the list of people who die and munjo no be fake, and they don't submit and give the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar, through an Air Force delegation led by Air Vice Marshal Idi Lubo, where been there the state for a fact-finding mission. The Acting Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adamu, don't order for speedy and comprehensive investigate into the Easter Day accident where happened for inside Gombe State, where killed 11 people. 11 people now die, including the driver of the car, a member of the NSCDC, where go jam people where gather they celebrate Easter on April 21 along Gombe Biu Road. According by statement from the first talk person, Frank Mba, Deputy Commissioner of Police on Monday for Abuja, saying that 30 people seriously wounded and then they don't collect treatment for inside hospital. Mba say, according by eyewitness, the driver been lose control before he jammed the people. The talk person say as the IG tell the families of the people who die, say make them take heart, he advised say make motorists they very careful by obeying all traffic signs and regulations. The Abuja Division of the Court of Appeal don't fix Wednesday for hearing of the appeal filed by the Osun State Governor, Mr. Adegboyega Oyetola, and the All Progressives Congress, where they challenge the judgment of the State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, where nullified their election. The tribunal on March 22, 2019, in a split decision, don't declare Oyetola main rival for the September 2018 election for the state, Senator Ademola Adeleke of the People's Democratic Party, as one where them validly elect as governor. Them nullify the certificate of return where them be give Oyetola, and they can order the Independent National Electoral Commission to issue a fresh one give Adeleke. Then saying that April 24, they don't fix by the Court of Appeal for the hearing of the appeal where go challenge the tribunal judgment. They don't come out the name of the former Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN Justice Walter Onoge, from the list of members of the National Judicial Council, NJC, from their official website. If you go to the official website of the NJC, you go see say both Onoge name and Ipisho don't change to the one of the acting CJN Justice Tanko Muhammad. The NJC last Thursday may approve the extension of the appointment of Justice Muhammad for another 3 months in response to President Muhammadu Buhari's request. Onoge and Muhammad for late January this year collect suspension as members of NJC until when them do the hearing of the various petitions where they against them. The chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, Professor Bolaji Owosonoye, don't holler into the roles of some financial institutions in financial crimes. He says some of them, they open accounts for criminals and then they provide services where they help criminal acts. The talk person for the commission, Rashidat Okodua, said in an inside statement during the visit of the management of Bank of Industry to the commissioner headquarters for Abuja, Naim Owosonoye talked this one. She said the ICPC will continue to clamp down on corrupt elements for inside the industry. The hydrocarbon pollution remediation project, HYPREP, they worry say the insecurity for some parts of Ogoni land, they affect the ongoing cleanup of oil for impacted sites. The project coordinator, Dr. Marvin Dekil, talked this one for Bori, Kana local government area of Rivers during a sensitization and town hall meeting with stakeholders for the area on the cleanup process.
HYPREP is deeply concerned that the contractors here have not been able to commence work on this side because of insecurity.
We lost our communities. Our government have been poisoned and destroyed. And you ask yourself, was that cause necessary?
Gradually we will be there, but a bit of patience is needed. You know, anything involving the government, you have to be patient with government.
I would say that I think our job as a traditional rulers is to go home and gather our youth and talk with them, then embrace the cleanup so that the thing will move very smoothly.
Now time for us to buy a small break. When we return, more stories still there for you to hear.
Accounts. The Get a Lot in Millions promo is back again, and this time it's bigger, better, and life-changing. Save your way to millions faster than you think. Open any Fidelity account with 20,000 naira or top up your existing account with 10,000 naira and stand a chance to win a whopping 1 million or 2 million in our monthly draw. That's not even all. Listen, there's more. Guess what? Open an account with 50,000 naira or top up an existing savings account with 50,000 naira and you could win 3 million naira. Fidelity Bank definitely did not come to play at all. Maintain an average balance of 200,000 naira and you could win the grand prize of 10 million naira. I'm now a millionaire. I love Fidelity. You too can save your way to millions. Hurry to any Fidelity Bank and start saving today. Or simply scan the QR code on all promotional items to open an account and participate. Many consolation prizes and weekly cash prizes up for grabs.
We are Fidelity. We keep our word.
A lot of the jobs that exist today will not exist in the next 10 years.
When I see people today shouting, we're not too young to run, we are ready to run. Ready to run to where?
The people of excellence are, to a certain extent, being held ransom by idiots and bandits.
Once you are in government, you believe everything you do is right. And once you are in opposition, everything the government does is wrong.
And so it's time for us to take over power.
Hey, what's up, guys? You're welcome to another edition of Plus Event, and I remain your host, Ifeoluwa Oshukeye.
Your absence isn't an excuse anymore, as Plus Events is all you need, as we bring you the glitz, the glamour, and loads of fun.
Oh, definitely, right? No question. He's a living legend.
Oh, God forbid, Holy Ghost fire, I know.
I just want to be blown away. I want to be wild.
This is 11 years of doing it.
I'm surrounded by so much positivity.
No, it's okay.
Yo, what's up, my people? It's your boy Starboy Terry. You're watching
Plus Event on Plus TV.
Stay glued to Plus TV Africa every Saturday and Sunday, 4:30 p.m. West African time.
African leaders, they meet for Egypt on Tuesday, where they go address developments for Sudan and Libya in the first emergency summit since the two nations collect popular protest and an invasion on the capital, respectively. For Sudan, protests which start for December last year continue even after the military vamoosed President Omar al-Bashir. For Libya, Commander Khalifa Haftar, they lead an offensive on Tripoli with aim of overthrowing the United Nations-backed government. Sisi will be the current president of the African Union, will receive the Chadian president Idris Deby, Rwanda head of state Paul Kagame, Congo Denis Sassou Nguesso, Somalia Mohamed Abdullahi Mohamed, and South Africa Cyril Ramaphosa, as well as Djibouti leader Ismail Omar Guelleh. The planned summit is now the first to convene by African leaders on the current crisis for Sudan and Libya. Democratic Republic of Congo President Felix Tshisekedi, they struggle to fulfill the pledge when he made to crack down the rebel and militia groups for the troubled North Kivu province. 3 months after he take power from the vote when them use Wuruwuru, Tshisekedi don't they struggle to take better action. Tshisekedi don't fail to do what he's supposed to do until in authority waka and the wahala when he did the country. Last week, he talked one strong talk, say he don't summon warning for all those actors where then they use wayo for the armed groups. The law will apply to them with full force. All those people with them arrest because of national or provincial lawmakers go face justice and then go sentence them for the kilikili when they don't do. Them say one Ogbonge trial when them called the world's first malaria vaccine for partial protection to children go soon start for Malawi. The RTSS vaccine go train the immune system to attack the malaria parasite when mosquito bites they spread. Before now, the small trial shows say nearly 40% of the 5 to 17 months old where them receive the vaccine get protection. Malaria case don't they rise again after like 10 years where they don't they fight this Ogbonge disease. According by the annual figures, global malaria case no they fall again, and that now why then they do everything to fight them. More than 90% of people where them get the sickness, and the 435,000 where them don't die, they for Africa with Pekins when them they vulnerable. Malawi don't see nearly 5 million confirmed cases for 2017, and they don't add Kenya and Ghana, where they won't use for the large-scale pilot of the RTSS vaccine. The story will still continue after this shikini break. Miami top court on Tuesday don't say their hand no day for the appeal of 2 Reuters reporters where them sentenced go jail for 7 years because them break the Official Secrets Act for one landmark case when he raised the questions about the country transition to democracy. Wallon and Kyoso don't spend past 16 months for detention since them arrest them for December 2017, while then they work on one investigate for the one where they take kill 10 Rohingya Muslim men and boys. Lawyers for the reporters don't summer appeal give the Supreme Court, and they come say na police them arrange the proof of crime and evidence say then set the 2 people up. One policeman tell one lower court last year say officers don't plant secret documents for the 2 reporters. One district court judge for Miami's largest city, Yangon, said the 2 journalists they guilty under the Official Secrets Act last September, and also then take sentence them to 7 years for prison. The Yangon High Court rejects one before appeal for January. Both Wallon and Kyoso-U dey for Yangon inside prison and they're not there to hear the Supreme Court verdict. The reporter's imprisonment don't make everywhere they shake, from press freedom advocates, Western diplomats and world leaders when he add to the pressure where then they give Myanmar leader Aung San Suu Kyi said the Nobel laureate when he take power for 2016 for the transition to democracy from military rule. North Korean state media talk on Tuesday say Oga Kpatakpata Kim Jong-un go visit Russia for one summit with President Vladimir Putin. And one Russian news report talk say Oga dem go meet on April 25 inside Vladivostok. Analysts talk say the visit na part of Kim's effort to build up foreign support for economic development plans after the breakdown of one second U.S.-North Korea summit where them do for Hanoi for February. According by the North Korean Central News Agency, KCNA, the visit will happen soon, but they no talk the time or the location. The talk between the government and the Labour onto Brexit waka will resume later as MPs they show back to Westminster after the Easter break. Cabinet ministers go meet senior opposition figures so that they fit solve any wahala when it dey ground and still find deal when it fit win the support of the MPs. But some Tory talk say MPs they vex say this talk with Labour won't happen. Leading backbencher Nigel Evans called Theresa May, say make she step down as Prime Minister or make it no tay before she step down. Coming up next, now a Tory for Inside Business.
Honey!
Daddy, please, can I go out with you and Mommy tonight?
Sure thing, sweetie. Get your shoes and we go.
Promise?
You have my word?
Daddy!
You know I wouldn't leave without you, my princess.
There's nothing more important than a promise. We are Fidelity. We keep our word.
According by the record of the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, the Federation Account Allocation Committee, FAAC, don't disburse 1.92 trillion naira to the three tiers of government in the first quarter of this year. The NBS figures now allocations by the FAAC for the months before when them share them. For instance, allocation by FAAC for the December 2018, then share them in January 2019, and also for the other 2 months of February and March. The NBS figures were tally with the figures from the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, OAGF. Talk say FAAC been disbursed 649.19 billion naira to the three tiers of government for January 2019 against December 2018. 660.37 billion naira in February, and the sum of 619.86 billion naira then distributed to the three tiers in March. FAAC allocations for March 2019 will happen later this month. Inside the 1.92 trillion naira so far within disbursed, the federal government don't receive 803.18 billion naira in the 3 months. States don't receive 530.14 billion naira, while the local governments don't receive 398.43 billion naira. Interestingly, for January 2019, Delta State now then received the highest allocation of 17.360 billion naira, excluding the 3.86 billion naira where the state collect on behalf of them 25 local government areas. Osun State now then get the lowest allocation of 1.73 billion naira, aside the 3.886 billion naira where them collect on behalf of the 30 local government areas of the state. Still to come on Top Plus TV Africa, now a roundup inside entertainment and sports story. Not go anywhere.
Mr. Bello speaking. Who is this?
Hello, Mr. Bello. My name is Gloria, and I'm calling regarding the family savings scheme form you dropped off last week. Do you remember?
Yes. I remember now.
The form is missing your signature. Do you mind stopping by sometime this week?
Don't know if I can make come. I go do water.
Not a problem. We will come to you.
We go walk to walk with you, oh. No matter where you stay, we get you from mine. We go follow penny price. Say we get you from mine.
Everyone is on a journey to build a brighter future. Let's help you take tomorrow, today. Access Bank. Speed, service, security.
DMX saying done ready to restart in acting career. The award-winning singer done there among people where then they choose to act the new film Chronicle of a Serial Killer. Ingo play the detective white role and Ingo be the #1 detective who go they try to track the serial killer. Now Steve Stanley they direct the movie and he go begin to shoot in June and he go start to act when he acts like Tommy Bundy for the 1998 cult classic Belly. He can later show face for another film in 2001, Exit Woods, and 2003 in act for Cradle to the Grave. The Rough Riders rapper done they try to come back since he come out from prison in January. He done they waka waka to celebrate a new album where they call It's Dark and Hell and It's Hot in 20th anniversary. That's not the story on entertainment. Coming up next, now the very best for Inside Sports Story.
Hey, Andrew.
Dad.
Look, I got something for you.
A football chassis?
Hey, Adu, come watch a game with your uncle and I.
Please, come. I'm okay, thanks. The kind of person that you asked me to be. My brother say you love me, I love him too. I tell him I will do anything for you. But it's strange.
Did you see how many goals they have scored?
They scored 2. I look up like this, say, who are you?
So, Daddy, you showed those blues Pepe yesterday, right?
You sure did.
Those 3 points are sure for us today.
Remind me how.
The game is about to start. Quick, please.
Court case where say Walton to touch a former host of Spectrum Sports Net LA Kelly tenant inside hotel room for California in 2016. The sexual matter happened before Luke Walton become coach of Los Angeles Lakers in April 2016, and he supports the lady for her book. Walton, according to the matter, pinned tenant to bed and he can't kiss him with force and he also grab him. The matter for court say Walton hugged tenants by force and he can't talk some kind bad word to her inside one charity event where two of them attend in 2017. Walton former team Lakers say them they are aware of the allegation and them no go take steps and say Walton no they work for them again. Walton knew about them Warriors and the Kings say that they are aware of the matter and then don't they gather informate on the matter. NBA selves say they don't investigate on their own on top of the same matter. Una do well that now the joint story we get on top this very o'clock. For more better information, go follow us for Plus TV Africa on top Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And it go make sense if you subscribe for our YouTube page at Plus TV Africa. We go still jam later with more story where they do bagan for inside the Obodo Naija and Obodo World. Don't forget to join us. My name na Betiana Unweli. Make una enjoy una day.
Politics has helped shape the decision of the polity, from conspiracy theories to good old-fashioned comic politics.
These are the result of tomorrow's elections. Okay, you have it already, have you?
I think we've done very well in the very difficult circumstances in which we took over governance.
Plus, politics will feel the pulse of the country, from friends to frenemies, even strange bedfellows, to clones and stooges. We go beyond the rhetorics and the drama to analyze the story behind the story.
Let anybody come and say!
The perception in itself does more harm than actual corruption that you have.
Plus Politics, not just another political show. It's about putting you, the citizens, in the know.
Strive Masiiwa is a London-based businessman, entrepreneur, and philanthropist. He is the founder of telecommunications giant Econet Wireless Holdings, which operates across 4 continents. He had to overcome opposition from the Zimbabwean government in a 5-year court battle to make Econet what it is today. Born January 29, 1961 in Zimbabwe, Strive attended primary school in Zambia before completing his secondary education in Scotland. He holds a degree in electrical engineering from the University of Wales. In 1998, he was named one of the 10 most influential leaders of the world by Junior World Chambers of Commerce, an accolade previously given to John Kennedy. Forbes magazine named him amongst the top 10 most powerful men in Africa in 2015. Facebook identified him as having the most engaging following of any business leader in the world, with over 2.5 million followers. Masiiwa is very big on giving back. He has provided scholarships to over 40,000 orphans through his family foundation. He is also a member of Giving Pledge, an initiative run by Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. Masiiwa is married to Sisi Masiiwa, and together they have 4 children. And this is the mogul in 90 seconds.
welcome to this episode of Africa on the Move in partnership with DW. Today's episode will be focusing on entertainment. So we start with Islewood. What is Islewood, you ask? Well, it's about the film industry telling the positive side of Somali refugees living in Kenya. It was started in 2001 by Iman Bohan. Interesting? See for yourself.
Could Iman Burhan be the Somali-Kenyan version of Steven Spielberg? Maybe, but the difference is that Imam's films are not purely commercial. The man has a mission, and it's called Islewood.
You can get here a refugee, someone who's actually fled from Somalia, fled from Al-Shabaab, who's here a refugee. But they are trying actually they are doing business, like hawkers, shoes shines, small business. Nobody is telling their stories. People are busy telling a story of criminals, gangs like Al-Shabaab. So we are trying in one way to tell our culture, our positive side.
Iman founded Islewood in 2001, 14 years after he came to Kenya. For young Somalis, his creative platform is the only way out of ethnic isolation.
Before I reach my home, I get the messages from young people. Hey Iman, I would like to be actor, I would like to be model, I would like to be singer, I would like to be dancer. Iman, help me out. So immediately I just said, I will help you out. As long as you are talented, as long as you are passionate for this, I'll make sure I help you. I just try to mentor them, to motivate them.
And motivation is urgently needed in the Somali community. After the terror attacks by Al-Shabaab on Nairobi's Westgate Mall, Iman and his colleague Adan Osman have seen discrimination on every level.
After Westgate, the discrimination was pretty bad. People, they don't think of us as good people. They just condemned us, It hurts, when you are like in a matatu and people start looking at you like, like a suspect. We don't deserve that. Al-Shabaab, they don't stand for all Somalis.
Eastleigh, or Little Mogadishu, is dominated by Somali businesses. A quarter of Nairobi's tax revenue is generated here, making it vital for Kenya's capital. And yet Somalis are culturally isolated.
Silence on set, silence on set.
Iman's project offers ethnic groups a chance to interact.
Islewood is playing a big role, a very big role, because it has reduced crime in a way. Because most of the guys who are perpetrating heinous activities in the communities, most of them have joined and also showcased their talent.
Islewood's films are shown in tiny cinema halls in the neighborhood. The challenge, however, is that Iman and his team not only face discrimination from Kenyans, they also struggle with accusations from their own community.
So many people actually are trying to disseminate a lot of propagandas, telling us, you guys, you are changing our youth, you are targeting beautiful girls, you are promoting Western, values. They want us to stop what we are doing. But I'm saying, today, if I die, there are so many like Iman who will take from it. And we hope Islewood will work generations like Hollywood.
Iman's project is funded by local businesses, and it turns out to be a very successful one.
It is important we tell our stories. I like the fact that despite the accusation and discrimination, Iman is trudging on and even getting funding for his films. From making films, we go to watching films. In Cameroon, Christian Kwesi is determined to give the visually impaired a feel of watching films.
A fitness trainer comes to his home every morning because Christian Kwesi needs to exercise a lot. A side effect of the medication is that I gain weight really quickly. Christian lost his eyesight at the age of 20. He now wants to do something for blind people in Cameroon. He shows films with audio descriptions. The district authority is hosting the event at the community hall. This is the fourth screening the 28-year-old and his friends have organized. Cultural centers show movies, but they are only for people who can see. Nobody thinks of us. If people like us with disabilities don't help ourselves, nobody will. His former schoolmate Patrick relaxes after helping to set things up. We're all moved by how strong he is, by how he keeps forging ahead. It gives us a push. The first guest to arrive is an old acquaintance. He's come all the way from a town in western Cameroon. But disenchantment soon sets in. The district authority failed to send out invitations. No one else has showed up. We're going to watch the movie anyway, even if it's only for Luke. He has traveled so far to get here. At least the film suits the situation. The Untouchables is a French comedy about a man who can't move his body from the neck down, but wants to enjoy life regardless. Christian was Cameroon's youngest high school graduate. He used to dream of a career in business. Now I'm fighting to be as independent as possible. The two friends are not giving up. Somewhat frustrated, they set off to promote additional screenings. Then they make a brief stop to charge up his cell phone. I can't move around the city on my own. The city doesn't provide for that at all. Christian and Patrick have an appointment with the province's social affairs delegate. They hope to get better support from her for their next screenings.